is Tanya Morgan here for Behind the Gloves in association with Fresco Box. I'm here at BXR with Sammy. How are you doing, Sammy?
Good, thanks. How are you, Tanya?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. So finally I'm getting the chance to talk to you. I've been wanting to do this for a little while. Obviously, I've been watching you train here with Gary Logan, the head boxing coach. Just to take it back to the beginning for the people that might just be discovering you for the first time, how long have you been boxing for and how did you first get into it?
I started boxing at the age of 8 years old because my dad was a professional boxer, and just through living with him and watching him train as a young kid, it sort of made me wanting to do it. So I started when I was 8 at the Repton Boxing Club in Bethnal Green and had a good amateur career, was on a GB team, won a few national titles, and then at the age of 23 I turned professional with Mark Tibbs and I was promoted by Frank Warren. Had 8 fights with them, and then I lost my 8th fight, and I decided to change trainers, and I met Gary Logan, and I'm training here now at BXR, so it's going really, really good.
So wow, you've been doing it since you was 8 years old. So when you was a kid, did you just always know, when I grow up, I'm definitely going to be a boxer? That was all you had in your head that you wanted to do?
Yeah, well, I used to like football as well. I still like football, but I used to love Nassim Hamed when I was a kid. I used to be obsessed with him. And when I first started boxing, I went to the Repton Boxing Club, and Charlie Magri had a boxing shop on Bethnal Green Road. And I went into the shop, and they had a leopard print pair of shorts, a Nassim Hamed pair of shorts, and I begged my dad to get me a pair, but he would never get me a pair because I guess he'd be embarrassed, because I literally just started and I wanted to start sparring people in these leopard print shorts, but no, I never got to wear them. But yeah, that was the main reason, because of my dad and because I love Nassim Hamed.
So in your next fight, are you thinking some leopard print shorts? Is it time?
I don't know about that. I wear the claret and blue shorts for the West Ham colours, so they're the colours I go with. But if I was as good as Naz, I'd probably wear something like that. Yeah.
And if you wasn't boxing now, just say this never happened for you. Obviously, you've had a good career so far, and you're going to kill it, and you're going to go and do everything you wanted to do. If you wasn't doing that, what do you think you would have been doing?
I guess I'd be a sportsman, because I've always been into sport, no matter what sport it is. I've loved boxing, love football, anything really. I'm quite sporty, so I'd be doing something in sports, or I mean, I'm a qualified personal trainer, so I could be doing that as well. So anything really.
And you're a huge West Ham fan, right? Do you think that the West Ham fans get behind you as a fellow fan? They back you up and come to your fights?
Yeah. Since last May, I've had a massive following from West Ham fans. At the Copper Box in May, it was on the Javonte Davis undercard, and I had 400 West Ham fans there supporting me.
Wow.
And then the fight after in July, I probably had 500-600 West Ham fans supporting me. So they really do get behind me, and they're amazing, because I go to the games and I see them all the time, so they sort of know me. So it's really good to have their support.
In terms of other fans and kind of just getting recognition out there, do you feel like at the moment people are starting to kind of know you on the boxing scene and get behind you with everything that you're doing?
Yeah, well, I lost my fight last July, and I fought last weekend, and I won last weekend, and it was my first fight with Gary Logan. Yeah. And since being with Gary Logan, I feel like I've improved so much, and I'm training so hard. I'm in a great environment now with so many positive people around. And I just feel so good, and I'm getting great sparring, and everything's just going really well at the moment. So I guess boxing fans will, when I get into another big fight again, they'll see the changes and the difference and the improvements that I've had with Gary. And I've also got a great strength coach, Dan Lawrence. He does my strength, and I feel so strong with him now, and I'm punching so much harder. And Harold's always there helping with my sprints. He's helping with the technique sessions. He's always there filming my sparring, so I can learn and improve and watch myself. And yeah, I've got a great team behind me now.
Yeah, you've got a really good little team going on. So with that loss that you had, how do you think that affected you mentally?
For a long time, like after the fight, I was in such a low place. And I mean, I even came to the point of thinking, like, should I be doing this game anymore? Should I be boxing anymore? But it's only because I met Gary, and the team that I'm with now, they're so positive, and I come to this gym every day, and people like you, everybody else, they're so positive, and it's good to walk into an environment like that, and you just feel good about life. So
Oh, that's good to hear. And so with you and Gary, you guys had a bit of a history before he ended up being your coach. That's quite an interesting story for people to know about.
Yeah, well, in the amateurs, my dad was at the same weight as him, and they fought for the same club. They both fought for Repton Boxing Club, and they was at the same weight going into the ABAs. They were both welterweights, and they was going to fight each other, but they was on separate sides of the draw. So my dad lost his fight, and Gary went on to the final. So they ended up not boxing, but they were sparring partners. They were, you could say, rivals in the same gym. And it's funny now that Gary's training me, and yeah, it's a crazy sport. You get a lot of things like that happening in this game.
That's mad for your dad's rival to end up being your coach. Imagine if they knew back in the day that's where it was going to end up.
I know, it's crazy. It's mad.
So with boxing, the career that you're planning on having, in your head, where do you see things going in this next year?
I'd like to be back fighting for the titles again. I'm confident now with the team I've got. I can really be pushing on and making a big name for myself. So I'm just confident to be fighting for titles again and just gaining more experience, winning. Yeah. That's it.
And what do you think the hardest thing is about obviously being a pro boxer? It's going to have its ups and its downs. What do you think that you struggle with the most?
That's a tricky question. I don't actually know.
How about the diet? I know that you like a burger.
I do, yeah.
So do you have to, obviously you can't be eating burgers all the time when you're getting ready for a fight. Do you find that hard? I think I would just struggle with the diet. I just love to eat. So anyone that's working towards a fight, I'm thinking, how are you doing it with the food?
Yeah, it's a diet. That's probably the hardest part of it all, the dieting and just the tough training all the time, like getting up for sprints after you've had a hard spar the day before. And then training again. It's just constant grind for 10 weeks, and it's a real hard sport. You're sparring with good quality fighters, and it's just hard. It's a hard sport, but you have to be mentally strong, and you have to have a good team behind you to get you through.
And do you get to have much of a life outside of boxing, or are you just 100% in this?
I do, but I'm quite a chill person, so I just like to spend time with my family, my friends, my girlfriend. I like to go to the football. I mean, I'm not a drinker. I don't drink or anything. I don't go partying. So unless I've got something to party for, if I'm winning titles, then maybe we'll all have a party. But no, I'm just a chill person.
Okay, so if you could go back in time and give the younger you any advice to just help you out. Obviously, you've been boxing since you was 8, all the way up till now. Is there anything that you would give? Any advice you would give your younger self to just make it a little bit easier?
That is a good question. I've always been disciplined. I've always loved the sport. I've always given it my all. Just to have more confidence in myself, because a lot of people around me, they really believe in me, and they can really see that how talented I am and how hard I work. And I should really look at myself and start believing in myself as much as other people believe in myself. So yeah, I guess it's that, just to have more belief in myself.
Do you think you're getting there now? You're starting to finally see what everybody else sees in you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the team I've got and the sparring I've had, and how I am performing in spars, it gives me that belief. And I go into fights knowing how hard I've trained, and that's just belief right there. Just training so hard with good sparring, and I know I'm well prepared going into a fight.
Good. Well, it's so nice to see you getting more confident and achieving, and congratulations on your last fight. When can people see you fight again?
Okay, I'm fighting on the 13th of July at York Hall, so I've got 10 weeks from today, and yeah, 13th of July.
Okay, so if people want to get behind you and follow you in the build-up to your next fight, which is in 10 weeks, how can they find you on social media?
They can follow me on Instagram, which is at SAMMY MCNESS. Yep, or follow me on Twitter, which is at SAMMYMCNESS.
Thanks for joining us on Behind the Gloves, and thank you, Sammy, for chatting to me. Guys, Sammy's going to be fighting in 10 weeks' time, so get behind him, follow him on Instagram, and show him a bit of support on the journey. Sammy, we look forward to talking to you after you win in 10 weeks' time. Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye. Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else